Hello, this is Mr. Painter with another fabulous Quizette tutorial. Today we were working on 8th grade, Unit 2, Quizette number 1 on Wednesday. Alright, Wednesday. What we're going to do is we're going to solve for J. Alright, so here we go. Solve for J. 4 equals the square root of J. So on Monday what we did is we talked about, well, what is the opposite of square root? So we're going to draw a line down our equal sign, which represents whatever operation we do on the right side, we do on the left. Now notice our variable is on the right side today, and it won't matter. So whether the variable is on the right or left, it's the same thing. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have 2 plus 3 equals 5, right? That's true. So 2 plus 3 equals 5. But what if I were to switch both sides of the equal sign? So for an example, what if I were to do 5 equals 2 plus 3? Now think to yourself, are these two the same thing? And the answer is yes, of course. 5 is equal to 2 plus 3, and it's also equal to 2 plus 3 equals 5. So now, if the variable's on the right side, notice it won't matter. It's the same thing as we've been doing before. So here we go. The square root of J, the opposite is squared. If I square one side, I must square the other side. So what that means is now we have 4 times 4 equals J. Because look, square and square root cancel out there. So 4 times 4 is 16, which equals J. Check. 4 equals the square root of J. What this says is take 16, plug it in for J, and see if it's true. 4 equals the square root of 16. Question mark. We're going to see if that's true. Well, according to square root, what that means is 4 has to equal something times something to give you 16. What times the exact same number gives you 16? And no, you cannot use 8 times 2 or anything like that. It has to be the exact same number times itself to give you 16. And if you said 4 times 4 gives you 16, that's correct. But the square root says only use one of those 4. So 4 equals 4. Check. 16 does equal J. And for the secret message, you're going to use a period. So put a period under line 16. All right. 7. Solve for beach balls. Okay, so for beach balls, we have beach ball plus 6 equals 9. We're going to draw a line down the middle here and start taking the opposite. Now remember, don't complicate this. The letter of the alphabet represents something we don't know. Plus 6 is going to give you 9. Now you can tell by looking at it, it probably should be 3. But show the work, show your steps, and absolutely you must take the check. So opposite of adding 6 is subtract 6. Subtract 6. 6 is cancel out. Box comes down. Equals to 9 minus 6 is 3. But remember the box represented B, so B equals 3. Well, box around a final answer. B should be 3. Let's check it and see if it works. So check. So our check is going to be B plus 6 supposedly equals 9. But we found the answer from B to be 3. So 3 plus 6 equals 9. Seems to be right, because we plugged in 3 from B. 3 plus 6 is 9 equals 9. So check. B of 3 is the right answer, so we know R is going to be the correct answer for that. Number 8, solve for G. So G here, call it a box, minus 3 equals 2. Something minus 3 gives you 2. Line's going to go down the middle here. All right, here we go. Opposite of subtracting 3, always take the opposite. Now we're going to add 3 to make this go away because we want the box to be by itself. Add 3, add 3. So negative 3 plus 3 cancels out. The box equals 2 plus 3 is 5. However, don't forget the box represented G. So G is equal to 5. All right, do the check. And remember, you do write down the check, so do write down all the notes. Here we go. G minus 3 equals 2. Plug in 5 for G. So 5 minus 3 should give you 2, question mark. And 5 minus 3 is 2 equals 2 on the right side. So check. 5 is the correct answer. Number 9. Solve for y. So remember, this says y divide 3 equals 2. So again, y divide 3 equals 2. But the y, make it simple, represents a number we don't know. Fraction, divide, 3 on the denominator equals 2. Look how easy that is. Something divided 3 will give you 2. Now we're going to start taking opposites. So here comes our line. The opposite of dividing 3 is to multiply by 3. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other side. Notice we're not using the cross for multiplication. We're using the multiplication period. The reason for using that is because the x looks like a variable. We don't want to confuse that. So box comes down. Dividing 3 and multiplying 3 are opposites. They cancel out to 1. But remember, 1 times a box or 1 divide a box, the 1 doesn't do anything. And on the right side, 2 multiplied 3 is 6. But remember, the box represented y. Y equals 6. All right, here we go. Check. So we have room on the other side now for the check. Same equation. I'm going to write it the other way though. So let's go y divide 2. Because remember, fractions are divide. Y divide 3, careful painter, equals 2. So plug in 6 for y. So is it true that 6 divide 3? I'm going to break this up so you don't get it mixed up. Is it true that 6 divide 3 is equal to 2? Question mark. And remember, both sides have to be equal to make the statement true. 6 divide 3 is 2, and therefore 2 does equal 2. Check. And the final answer of y of 6 is the correct answer. Number 10. Solve for y. In this case, I like to call it yo-yos. So solve for the yo-yos. Here we go. 2 multiply something gives you 2. Remember, coefficient, variable, and a number. Coefficient and a variable are automatically multiply. Line comes down. Opposite of multiplying is divide by 2. Divide by 2. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you must change the other side as well. So 2 divide 2 cancels out to 1, but 1 times the box is just the box. Equals 2 divide 2 is 1. But the box represented the y, so y equals 1. Now check and see if that's true. So check. Remember, you can do your check wherever you want, as long as you got room for it. So check, use the same equation. 2y equals 2. Well, 2 times y equals 1, which is 2 times 1 should equal 2, question mark. And that's looking pretty good because 2 does equal 2. So check y equals 1 is the correct answer. This concludes the Quizette for Wednesday.